Also today we are doing spark plugs on a first-gen Toyota Tacoma and a Toyota T100. Both have the same engine, but there's gonna be a couple slight differences in some of the setups. So we'll just film it as we go along. Henry is starting. He's gonna be taking off a couple parts so we can get into these spark plugs a little easier. We've got one here, and one there. And we're going to the other side. We've got those two, and the third is back in there. And same thing on T100. Got those three. Third one's down in there. And on this side, you got the three. So we're gonna start taking off the same parts as Henry on this side. Alrighty.
So we're going to take off 3 hose clamps, 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to remove this hose, get that one loose from there. Give that a twist. That'll come out right there. And you can just set this out of the way. Alright, so we're going to start by disconnecting these 3 wires on the side just by depressing the clip and pulling out. And then you have 3 10mm bolts right here on each of the coils. Alright, now we're going to do one spark plug at a time, but if you give this a little twist and pull, you can get the coil out. With the first coil out, we're going to take your 6-inch extension and a regular 5/8 spark plug socket. Go ahead and put it on there. And a good trick I like to do is take it off the ratchet. Make sure you're seated on there. Just
Go.
All right, now for the reinstallation, I switched to a foot-long extension, but I'm going to put it in the socket and get it started by hand. All right, so now that we got it hand tight, I'm going to go ahead and torque it down. The Haynes manual specifies 15 foot-pounds for spark plugs. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and make sure it's clean and you don't get any dust or debris inside of the holes. If you do, you can blow it out with some compressed air or you can try a vacuum. But once you reinstall the new plug, you can go ahead and replace your coil. So once you have all 3 of your spark plugs and coils replaced, you can go ahead and tighten down your 10mm bolts and then go ahead and connect these 3 wires as well. So I'm reinstalling this and we want to make sure that we line up this notch right here. And then you can go ahead and replace this hose right here. And once we get this connection on, we'll take this hose and connect it back again. Mine is pretty cracked, so you might want to go ahead and replace this while you're doing this job. Go ahead and clip all of these back in. And then push that clip in and connect these wires as well. Finally, I'm gonna go ahead and tighten up 1, 2, and 3, 4 10mm bolts, and then we can move on to the other side. All right, and then moving to the other side, first thing I'm gonna do is remove this 10mm bolt. It just holds on some of the hoses and it'll help us get to that second wire a lot easier. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on this side. I started by pulling this wire out. All you're gonna do is grab on this. You're gonna have to twist and tug it out. On the Tacoma, I'm gonna go ahead and use an assortment of extensions just to get me down in the hole a little bit easier. make sure you're seated on the spark plug and go ahead and remove it. And then go ahead and torque it down. And then go ahead and torque it down. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead for the second one. Just grab it and pull out. And for the second one, you just have to kind of fish it through these hoses. Then again, start it by hand and torque it down to 15 foot-pounds. All right, so on the Tacoma, on the one farthest back, I take these little channel locks, and you want to be gentle on it, but you can grab it, and then once you're in there, you can twist and pull it out. Just be careful not to mar any of the rubber. So now when you get to that third one with a couple extensions, go ahead and remove that one as well. All right, so then once you screw your last spark plug in by hand and torque it down, and then you're gonna take your last wire and go ahead and route it back in there. You might have to wiggle it in a little bit, but then once you get it, click it into place. Then you're all set. And before you try to start it up, make sure you replace this 10mm bolt right here that just connects these hoses to the upper plenum. Gotcha. All right, so then on the T100 for this last one, you're gonna get it out, and it's gonna seem like a little bit of a weird fit, but if you just pull it out, it'll fall out to the back of the truck. All right, so there are 2 bolts down in here on these hoses that connect to the plenum that you need to do right here and right here. And then that'll make it so you can move that. And then you want to take this hose and unclip it from that little hook right there. And that gives you access to put your extensions in your ratchet in straight, so you don't have to cross thread the spark plug on the way in or out. All right, and now that gives me a straight shot so I can run my ratchet through into the spark plug hole.